What do we have here? Super budgets!
Super budget.
Super budgets are knives that are not total pieces of shit that cost 25 bucks or less. Those are super budgets. Why do I call it a super budget? Because I call budget knives anything 50 bucks or less. That is good. That's a good knife. It's it's not just not a piece of shit, it's actually a pretty good knife. So, this one, I mean, it didn't have this on it, but this one was like 16, 18 bucks, something like that. It's an Eafengrow. Eafengrow makes a few pretty okay knives. But then they also make some that look pretty cool, but when you get them, they feel really weird or they don't work quite right and shit like that. So Eafengrow is one of those companies that you better watch the reviews before you go trying to grab an Eafengrow. This one's pretty cool though. This is the EF, the frickin', I don't know, what does it say? I actually don't see it on there. EF something or other in D2. I think it's discontinued too, which is, understandable. It's a freaky, weird, big-ass knife with a gigantically tall, weird blade. So, but I like it. I thought it reminded me of Deadpool, so I had a little Deadpool guy lasered on there. I had a little thing I was going to put in here, a little Deadpool button thing, but I lost it. I don't know where I put it. Maybe I'll find it again. So that's a pretty good one. The EF, whatever. Another thing in that category would be little multi-tools that are, from Walmart and stuff, if they're decent. I think this is like a decent one. It's from Columbia. Columbia has their name on it. It's not really from Columbia, probably. It was made by, some Chinese company that makes junk like this. And it's a multi-tool, but, it's got a knife in it, so we'll call it a knife. I think it has a knife. I don't think I've used a knife since maybe right after I got it or something. I sharpened it, though. Looks like I sharpened the blade. Not terribly well, but that was probably 4 years ago before I knew how to sharpen anything right. But it's a decent little multi-tool. So you got shit like that. What's another example of a super budget? Most of the knives from Firebird / Ganzo. This one I think was over. I think it was like 27, 28 bucks, but I think they have a version that's just G10 and doesn't have the carbon fiber, and it's like 24, 25. Really cool little knife. What is this? It's like the FH, I don't know what it is. Let's see. Let's see if we can see. I'll zoom in right there. Let's see if we can see it and read it. Yeah. So it's something cool that I don't remember the number of and name of. Now here's another example of a super budget. A gas station knife. No, it's not really. It's a pretty shitty knife. It doesn't cut things well. It's fucking dull. It came dull. It's uncomfortable. So, I don't know, man. It's not really there. But it's, it's cool. They're fun to play with. So, whatever. Now, I would consider this a super budget. This is a Schrade old timer. I think they probably go for, 12, 15 bucks, something like that. And it's a slip joint type thing, no locks. But it's got two blades on it, so it's got twice as much cutting potential as if it just had one blade. Even though it's pretty soft steel, you sharpen it up and it'll cut, things, string and rope and stuff like that. You're not going to go slicing through paper slicity. Let's see, here's a piece of paper right here. Let's try it. Yeah, no. And this one hasn't been used very much. Maybe, it's cut a couple strings, but it's already dull. Or it just never was sharp. But you can sharpen it. You can sharpen it. Not terribly well, but you can sharpen it though. So, you got your old timers and the like. That goes for your $110 too, but of course that's not a super budget. That's a kind of an expensive knife for what it is. What does this count? A Husky razor knife? I think it kind of does. Because it's a useful knife. It works the way it's supposed to, and it was like 10 bucks. Now, it's a utility knife, and it's also pretty big. Be too big really to carry around as your main pocket knife. Unless you're on a job, you're doing a job, then it's going to be fine. So, Let's see, one more little utility knife I had laying around. This is a pretty cool one, little Gerber. And since, it uses razor blades instead of Gerber knife blades, it's not going to be as dull and crappy as most Gerbers. Oh, I'm sorry, but it's true. The lock isn't the best, but it does work. I don't know why the lock on this one's super hard. Anyway, there's some examples of some super budgets. We'll have some other super budgets in the future, of course, but for now, super budgets. Have a nice day.